I've been in the game as a life coach for a hot minute, so I have lots of tools and techniques that I can pull out of my sleeve to help my clients get results. But sometimes we just got to back it all the way up and revisit the basics because let's face it, when you master the basics, you can cover your bases better. And in my world, the basics means mindset. Whenever I notice someone struggling to make progress, it almost always boils down to a mindset issue. And there's one huge mindset trap that I want to help you avoid because I see it all the time. And I don't want you to have to stay on the struggle bus any longer than you need to. So that's what's on the agenda today, y'all. Let's get to it. Let's go. Good day, good people. Welcome to episode 75 of the Life Edit Project podcast. I'm your favorite life coach and podcast host, Coach Elizabeth, and I'm not going to keep you long this week, so let's just get right into it. The one huge mindset mistake that you're probably making is this: you're fighting for your limitations. Even though you want things to change and get better, you fight to stay where you're at. In your marriage, in your career, in your finances, with your health, with your family, with your self-image, everywhere. Life is full of choices. And even though you may want to make the kind of choices that get you something different than the crapola that you're used to having, if you're not careful and if you're not intentional, you will continue to choose the options that just get you more of what you've already got, instead of choosing to be the person you want to be, and instead of running headfirst into the possibilities of a different dynamic in your marriage or a different job or a better relationship with food, you will choose a familiar path over an unfamiliar one and end up in a familiar place. Why? Because our brains are tricky and they're kind of lazy. Sometimes it's because we're telling ourselves that we're just being realistic, but really that's just you reminding yourself of who you've always been instead of focusing on who you're becoming. Sometimes you will fight to hold on to your limitations because it feels safer than going after what you want and failing. And sometimes it's because you think that the limitations are just the facts of life and that they can't be changed. You think there's literally nothing you can do about the limitations, and so your whole life has to operate within them. There are a lot of different ways and a lot of different reasons why you might be fighting to keep your limitations. But here's what I know. You can't spot all of these things on your own. You need feedback from an outsider to gain clear perspective on what's really possible for you. And that, my friends, happens to be my specialty as a life coach, right? So if you'd rather fight for your potential instead of your limitations, holla at your girl. Click the link that's in the show notes to get on my calendar, and let's talk about how working with me as your private one-on-one life coach can actually help you avoid this mindset mistake and accelerate your progress. So that's all I have for you today. I told you this was going to be a nice, quick episode. But before I wrap, by the way, I am relaunching my email list. I used to send emails out. I haven't sent them out in a long time, but I am starting over. So if you've been enjoying listening to this show, then you will also enjoy having me in your inbox a couple of times a week. You'll get reminders each week to come and check out whatever the latest podcast episode is. And I'll, wet your whistle with some juicy goodness in between. So if you want to sign up for my email list, even if you think you've been on my email list before, you got to go sign up. So just go to my website, lifeeditproject.com, and put your email into the pop-up box that appears on literally any page on the site. And that's how you get started. Okay. I will be back in your ears next week with another fresh, juicy episode. Until then, stop fighting for your limitations and fight for your potential instead. All right? Peace.